So I'm out here today doing a bit of fabrication, drilling a wee, made a washer thing for the motor in my wife's DT-03 buggy because it snapped out of the plastic housing. So I've made a washer thing. I'll just get it out of the vise. There we go. I made this plate nice and shiny, and I hope to just put it in and then screw the motor to it and everything would be great, but no, never is. So this bit that's marked over here, I'm going to have to cut that off because of the spur gear. Yeah, the spur. And as you can see, it goes through one of the mounting holes here. So yeah, I've had to come up with an idea. So I've drilled this extra one over there, and that will line up with that hole there, but that hole isn't threaded. It's not quite wide enough for the screw that's going to go in. So instead of drilling it out and ending up with a lot of swarf and things rattling about inside the motor, I'm just going to see if I can tap it out and put a thread on it, and then hopefully that'll work. So yeah, I've just got to cut a bit of this off, and I'll tap the motor first. I'll tap a thread into the motor first, and then I'll trim that down. So I'll see you again in a bit. God, that look meant no, it's got I've still got my still got the safety goggles on. Yeah, so I'm out here playing in my shed with my pillar drill and my big old antique vise. I rescued that from a building that was going to be getting demolished. It was on a site I was working on, and yeah, the building was just going to get ploughed into the ground. So I rescued that vise. I had a look, and I think it's from sometime in the 1920s. This one, I don't know, made in England. Let's see, it's that's the number and the make. If you can see that. A Woden. That's probably recording back to front because it's on selfie, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, so that's my big old vise, and I'll go and get on with this. I'll do it indoors because it's raining today. It's not particularly nice out there, so I'll go and do this indoors. So that's me back inside now. These are the screws I'm using, these little stainless button head Allen screws. It's an M3 and the thread pitch is 0.5. I've checked it against this. If you sort of put that up against the threaded bit on there, they match up just fine. So it's a 0.5 thread pitch. That's the gap between the threads. Some threads are coarse and there's a bigger gap, and other ones are fine and they've got a narrower gap, but this is kind of, I suppose, the standard for an M3. So I'm going to try and get that to tap out the wee hole at the top and put a thread in it for the screw to go in, and not get any swarf inside the motor. Yeah, so I'll go and get on with that now. So I'm back here in the kitchen. Like I say, I've used the M3 times by 0.5, and I just basically poked it in there and started screwing. I managed to do it with just the wee handle like that, and it goes where she stops, nobody knows. That's it. So that basically just cuts the thread into the motor housing, and I had it up like this, so any swarf that was going to come out would come out there. But magnets, looking inside it, it's fine. I can see one wee bitty that's got in, I'll turn that round. Let's see. Yeah, there's nothing in there that's stopping the motor from working. It's nice and quiet. There's just like one wee shiny bit down the side there that I can't quite see or get to. So what I need to do now is put the motor back in, put the plate on. I'll bring the light over a bit. Put the motor back on, drill the hole through the plastic casing, because there won't be a hole there where I need it, down here somewhere I think. So there won't be a hole there, so if I screw the motor back into place, it'll be easy enough just to touch the drill bit through and then make a mark on the casing, and then I can take this out and drill through the plastic, and then I won't be getting any plastic inside the motor either, and the hole should be exactly where I need it, says I confidently. Right, no, I'll have to go back out and drill things out in the shed. Yep, I'll go and have a cup of tea first. See you in a bit. So I'm back out in the shed again. I'm going to drill mark the plastic casing through there with the 4mm drill bit, and then I'll take the motor and the plate off, and then I'll drill right through the plastic and cut this section off for the spur gear to rotate, and hopefully that should do it. So I'll get started. I'm not going to clamp it in. I don't really fancy clamping this brittle plastic, so I'm just going to have to find a way to hold it and then stick the drill through. Is that kind of lined up? Try and get it lined up. Actually, no, I'm not going to use that 4mm drill bit because it'll just bite and it'll drag it round. So I'll swap it over for a smaller one. That's what we'll do. Oh, my drill bits from Lidl's. As usual, all the thin ones break. I'll do a 2.5. That'll do. That'll mark it up. Right. I'll put the 4 away. I have to keep my tools kind of tidy on the bench, for God's sakes. I really need to come out here and clean and tidy again. But I have to keep putting my tools away and things, because even when they're sitting like this, you know, there's like 5 or 6 of them, I wouldn't be able to find the one I'm looking for. So yeah, that sort of do with the neurosarcoidosis that I've got, but like I say, you just have to get on with things. So I'll prop the phone back up, and I'll stick this in. Get in there, get in there. There we go. Tighten up the chuck. You alright, Chuck? There we go. I think that's squint. A little bit squint by a mile. Because I'm trying to do it in a hurry, you see. I don't know if you can hear it, but that rain's picking up again. There's supposed to be the leftovers of a hurricane coming through Scotland, and well, mostly Britain, but mainly the top of the island up here in Scotland. So yeah, that's blowing through tonight and into tomorrow, and there's going to be winds up to 40 odd miles an hour. So yeah, that's what we've got to look forward to. So there won't be any speed run testing or anything like that going on for the next few days. There, right. Have a go. Have a go, my boy. Yep, that's marked it. That's what it was after. So I'll take the motor off. I don't think you need to be watching all of this, do you? It's one of the most exciting things to be looking at. But once I've taken this off, I'll drill the, like I say, the plastic. I'll drill that right out. But I'll take this motor out the way first. So I've got a mark on the plastic about there, so I'm going to put a formal drill bit through that, and I'll get back to you once I've done that. So that's me. I've drilled out the extra hole there and fitted the motor in, stuck the pinion on, and by some kind of miracle the mesh still seems okay. Yeah, seems to be meshing just right, so it's still kind of lined up properly with the holes for the 17 tooth pinion. The other options are 19 and the holes are slightly different, slightly further round. That must be something to do with the mesh. So yeah, it's meshing fine. Really quite happy. A couple of wee things to do. I want to sand out a little bit more metal around here because I think the pinion's touching it just in there, just in that corner. So I can take a wee bit more out of there, and I'll also need to take some of the aluminium off here, some of this, because the gearbox cover's got to go over and it isn't going to sit properly because this is just slightly too big. I knew I would probably end up having to do that because you know, I cut a 44mm circle to give me plenty of metal to play around with while I was making it. So I've got a wee bit of trimming to do, and then that'll be it. Job done. File a bit in there, file a bit off round here, get the gearbox back on the can, see if it works. So that's me done the adjustments. It was a 44mm ring. Well, it was an inside diameter, the thing's about 40. So I've trimmed it down a bit so it'll fit inside the cover. The mesh is fine. The screws are in, so I've just got to Loctite the grub screw and these two screws and pop the cover back on and wire it up to an ESC and a battery and see if it goes round and round or if it goes bang. Yeah, that's it. I'm quite happy with my day's work there. I've ordered a new part anyway, this is just a thing to keep it going, but it's kept me busy the day, so I'm quite pleased with that. There we go, all done. Well, the gearbox repairs have certainly worked. I've done a sort of top speed, a wee bit of a drag and some hooning around, so yeah, I'm quite happy. That'll do until the new parts arrive. I've ordered them, I think its shop was TPM or something, and they said they'll be in fairly soon. They'll have a big delivery of spare parts fairly soon, so at least I'll have a proper gearbox for it again if this ever breaks. Right, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.